Good afternoon. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you today. As CEO of Tolgoi and Country Director for Rio Tinto, I'm proud to see OT and Rio Tinto sponsor this important conference. And as someone who currently calls Mongolia my home, I'm proud to see this conference attracting so much interest and attendance from around the world. I'm also pleased and proud to have heard how many speakers, both Mongolian and international guests, have talked about the impact of OT on the economy, and how many of them spoke about the importance of the stability of the legal environment to attracting foreign investment. I could not have put these sentiments better myself. Today, I will explain how OT and Rio Tinto are doing our part in strengthening and growing Mongolia. But first, I'd like to set the stage by briefly showing how demand for commodities is increasing and where Mongolia, and specifically OT, fit into this picture. Am I supposed to do this slide? We'll see if we can get this to go forward. The medium to long-term profile for growth in the global copper market is good. It will come as no surprise that China's consumption fosters this growth. Chinese urbanisation will continue to drive significant investment in copper-intensive infrastructure. Chinese copper consumption will account for more than 50% of the global total by 2024 and will have increased by more than 10 million tonnes from today's levels. By far, the largest single end use in China is electrical infrastructure and wiring, currently accounting for 59% of consumption. Chinese per capita energy consumption is only 35% of the OECD average, and yet, as a country, China is already the world's largest consumer of energy, and her total consumption is set to triple by 2030. Another good news story for copper. Our proximity to China as the world's most important source of demand means that Mongolia and China building a strong, balanced trade relationship with one another is important and indeed necessary for both countries' success. Not only is copper demand growing in China and other countries like India, but existing mines will not be able to meet this growth. This means that emerging regions, where the majority of new resources are found, will have an opportunity to step up and fill this gap. Major emerging supply regions include countries like Mexico, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, Kazakhstan, Russia, China, and of course Mongolia. Of all the projects coming online in Asia, the OT mine will be the largest, and at its production peak in 2019 will contribute 24% to the total mine production from Asia. OT is strategic to the copper supply side. Tolgoi is a jewel. It is not only a national treasure, it is also the biggest undeveloped copper and gold project in the world. And when it reaches full production in 2018, it will be a top 5 global copper producer and one of the world's biggest producers of gold. Based on our current projections, production will grow from 179,000 tonnes of copper in 2013 to approximately 460,000 tonnes of copper after the concentrator expansion is complete in 2019. To give you a sense of what that means, At the expanded level, that is nearly 4 times the annual production of the Erdenet copper mine. Our average annual production in our first 10 years is forecast to also include 330,000 ounces of gold and 2.9 million ounces of silver. With about a 3.1 billion tonne resource and a 1.4 billion tonne reserve, this mine will be producing for well over 50 years. And there is a lot more potential at OT and in Mongolia, where much of the country remains unexplored. Most importantly, OT will be a low-cost producer in the first quartile globally, which means it can still be profitable even if commodity prices fall to the lower end of expectations. Ivanhoe and the government of Mongolia are the shareholders of OT and are active in its leadership. Rio Tinto is playing a key role in the development of OT from a funding and a management perspective, together with our partners in local and national government who are working tirelessly to get OT up and running on time. Over the past 5 years, Rio Tinto has provided funding of more than $3.6 billion US, much of which was during the financial crisis and at early and higher risk stages of OT's development. This has funded the current construction phase and has created enormous value for the country and for all shareholders. Just recently in August, Rio Tinto increased its ownership in Ivanhoe to 48.5%, thus injecting more funding into OT. The shareholders of OT are also pursuing the mining industry's largest ever project financing. During this period, Rio Tinto is providing further financial support via interim funding. In December 2010, Rio Tinto assumed formal management of OT. Our vision is that OT should not just be a good mine in Asia, it should be a great mine globally. That is an achievement that will make all Mongolians proud, and that over time will make Mongolia a hub for mining skills and services. Rio has been integrating our international best practices from across the world into OT, from our demanding health and safety standards, our commitment to sustainable development, and our insistence on operational excellence. What Rio Tinto brings is practical and global experience acquired from operating in over 40 countries. In every area of the business, we give OT direct access to our accumulated knowledge and train our Mongolian staff in these best practices. Importantly, Rio Tinto will be bringing new technologies to Mongolia, specifically block caving, so we can effectively mine the underground portion of the OT deposit. Currently, block caving is used at only 10 mines in the world, 3 of which Rio Tinto owns and or manages. We will ensure that this innovative process is fully understood by our Mongolian staff, as one of our greatest legacies will be the skills we leave the next generation of Mongolian engineers. But we're not just training engineers, we are also training accountants, managers, environmental engineers, and many others with transferable skills that will help across Mongolian society. For every 1 direct job created by OT, we anticipate that 4 more will be created in Mongolia. In Mongolia, investor confidence is high, but as several speakers have said, maintaining this confidence requires stability and the rule of law. The signing of the OT investment agreement in 2009 visibly demonstrated to the world that Mongolia understood this, was committed to such stability, and was open for business, and it worked. On the strength of these pieces of paper and the belief in Mongolia's commitment to stability, Rio Tinto made the decision to invest. Remember that $7 billion US will have been spent before the first truckload of concentrate leaves our site. OT's investors needed the IA to have the confidence to invest such mammoth sums and to pursue the mining industry's largest ever project financing. As a result, Mongolia is now perfectly positioned to launch a series of world-class projects, such as Tolgoi, and numerous other infrastructure and industrial development projects. And we are seeing concrete growth in the economy, from foreign direct investment to job creation. If even a few voices call for Mongolia's commitments to be broken or agreements to be changed, there is a risk that this will undermine investor confidence. These few will have to answer to the many Mongolians whose jobs will be on the line and the local businesses whose prospects will be damaged. We are confident that Mongolia will not let this happen, that stability and the rule of law will prevail, and that Mongolia's long-awaited economic promise will become a reality. The IA is already boosting government revenues. Some facts. In 2011 alone, the government of Mongolia will receive more than $220 million in taxes from OT. Before our first truckload of concentrate departs in late 2012, the government of Mongolia will have received US $700 million in tax revenues and prepayments from OT. The IA is creating jobs directly and indirectly for Mongolians. Some facts. We are at the peak of construction and are employing about 14,000 people, our own employees and contractors, at least 60% of which are Mongolian. Of the US $2.5 billion OT has spent in the past 18 months, over $700 million was with over 1,000 Mongolian-based suppliers. 5 of the major OT construction projects underway in the South Gobi are 100% managed by Mongolian contractors. Under the IA, we are also training Mongolians to increase technical capability that will lead to new opportunities. OT is investing $85 million in training and education over 5 years. We have funded the largest vocational training program ever established in Mongolia. We're building 3 new professional training and vocational centres, and we're upgrading 4 other centres and colleges around Mongolia. And these are not close to our site. OT has sponsored a miner training program that has just had 200 mining technicians graduate in its first year, and we will welcome an additional 150 next year. There are also numerous indirect benefits of the OT investment agreement that are already impacting the broader economy. You don't have to travel far in Ulaanbaatar to see that there is a boom. More people are eating out, retail sales are up, manufacturing is up, and obviously construction is up. Much of this is due to the multiplier effect of our investment at OT. The IA has indirectly given other investors increased confidence to bring dollars into Mongolia, further enabling growth. Looking longer term, we expect the Mongolian economy to grow by over 10% a year for the next 10 years as OT ramps up to full expanded production. This means that by the year 2020, the size of the economy will more than double in real terms. OT is projected to be responsible for approximately half of this annual growth. Rio Tinto is committed to supporting the success of OT. We also feel Mongolia offers great potential for other mining investments in the future. We expect to be active in Mongolia for many decades to come. As part of this long-term commitment to Mongolia, we are contributing to the social development of the country. Here is a snapshot of some of our recent activities.
Rio is supporting an extensive biodiversity eco-regional assessment in the South Gobi, not just around our site. We are the sole sponsor of the Project Cure event in the US on the 16th of September, honouring the First Lady of Mongolia. The event is targeted to raise more than $2 million to bring medical equipment to Mongolia. Rio Tinto is directly developing highly talented Mongolians by providing training and placements at other Rio Tinto operations around the globe. An additional 50 graduates and secondments overseas will be offered in 2012 and 2013. We're the first official gold sponsor of the Mongolian National Olympic Committee. We're also the official provider of all of the metal used to produce 4,700 gold, silver and bronze medals for the London Olympic and Paralympic Games. This metal comes in part from OT. We are thrilled that metals mined in Mongolia will be used to produce the medals for the 2012 Games. And I just know that our fine Mongolian athletes are going to be bringing some of that OT gold back home. In closing, I believe that the development of OT has brought and will continue to bring great benefits to Mongolia. The investment agreement has been a key enabler of recent growth and will play a key role in Mongolia's economic future. Together with our partners in government, Rio Tinto is committed to making OT world-class in all regards and contributing to Mongolia becoming a centre of excellence in mining. If we all work together, OT will be successful for the Mongolian economy, successful for the Mongolian people, and successful for its investors. Thank you very much.
За ноён маркет баярлалаа.